This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, my feline loving friends. Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. We are excited. Today we have Dr. Jeff Werber with us. He is the only vet I've ever known that won an Emmy, and I think there has to be a question there. I didn't know you could get an Emmy for being a vet, but we're kind of thinking that's cool. He has all kinds of information. He has a podcast. We'll have to get into it as soon as this break from our sponsor is finished. We'll see you shortly.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, with my lovely BFF business partner. My husband says she's my work wife and everything else that she is, Rita Reimers.
I thought for a second you forgot my name.
No, I was trying to think of all the roles that you fill.
Well, we both have multiple roles, and now we'll be taking on a new role with the Sadie's Heart Cat Sanctuary and Outreach. But I'm excited to talk to our awesome guest.
I am too.
Tell us more about this.
We wanted
Emmy.
Dr. Jeff to come on for a while now, because we know the man is busy. Because did I mention he's also running a vet practice and involved in all kinds of other stuff? So welcome, Dr. Jeff, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for having me, because you know what? My waiting room was so busy. I said, guys, I have a heart out today. I have a Zoom interview, and I'm going to make that with 19 Cats.
That's perfect.
So it worked out well.
When the time's over, they don't need to know we stopped recording. We'll just sit and chat and waste some time. So you were running a veterinary practice, but you are also doing something called Air Vet, and we need that explained to us.
Okay, so I have been concierge for my entire career, which means that I'm the idiot. So at least that's what my colleagues call me. You actually give your cell phone to your clients? I said, yep, I do. And they can reach me 24/7.
Oh, wow.
And I realized the benefit to not only the pet, but to the relationship between me and the pet parent, knowing that they can call me 24/7. And it's invaluable. And I've learned a number of things. First of all, clients love it. Secondly, it doesn't happen that often. I've missed a few black tie dinners because I've had an emergency or whatever. But when I look at my career, I'm in my 38th year. Wow. It's not that bad. But most importantly, what I've learned is that most emergencies aren't.
Yes.
So when you have that recording that goes on at night at your hospital that says, hi, thank you for calling so-and-so animal hospital. The office is closed. If you have an emergency, go to so-and-so emergency center. Well, guess what? You're in the car in 2 seconds. You're going. You don't know what the problem is, but you're worried. Right. And all of a sudden you get there and you get to wait several hours now with COVID, and you get to spend 2 to 3 times as much money. And guess what? It could have waited to the next day or even the next day after that.
Yes.
So I realized clients benefit, patients benefit from having that, what we call concierge care, connected care 24/7. So I, with a few friends, started a company called Live DVM. My wise ass son, who is very smart, he didn't like what we were doing and how we were doing it. And he had no problem telling me so. So, and the first thing he didn't like was the name. He goes, Dad, I'm a son of a veterinarian. I know what a DVM is. Most people don't know what a DVM is.
That's true.
He proved that point. With our partners. Anyway, he was talking to one of his colleagues who was invested in one of my son's prior companies and said, so Brandon, what are you doing now? He goes, I'm helping my dad. He's got a pet telemedicine company, doesn't know what he's doing, how he's doing it. It's a great idea. And the guy goes, pet telemedicine? And this was the time when Teladoc and all those companies were starting to get crazy busy, and Roman, right? So he says, Brandon, if you were running that company, I would invest right now. So guess what?
Nice.
Brandon took over as CEO. I'm Chief Veterinary Officer, and he has built, we are the largest platform in the industry. And we are moving on to even bigger things. And he's doing a great job. And Live DVM became AirVet. So because now people know AirVet, Airbnb, AirPlay, they get it.
Yes.
Getting your veterinarian. So, and what's so interesting about that is our SEO is so good that we work with hospitals. We were started out as what we call B2B to C, business to business. We're going with veterinary hospitals. They will connect with their clients. Guess what? Veterinarians don't get it. They think it's too hard to institute like that. They'd rather have the recording. They'd rather lose the business and send their clients to emergency. It makes no sense. So we now I've realized that most of my calls, and I've done over 3,600 virtual visits. And
amazing.
Guess how many I've had to send to emergency that really were emergencies?
How many?
Probably 60 or 70.
But it's really great. Like cat parents have a hard time getting their cats to the vet.
Of course.
Or knowing if it's a problem at all. So this is an awesome asset for them.
In fact, who one of our partners is, who we partnered with, who gets it fear-free. So good friend Marty Becker.
We love fear-free, yes.
And so Marty evaluated all the telemedicine companies, and he says, no, AirVet's the one. And we are their exclusive provider of telemedicine. And also, since you guys are doing, rescue, Best Friends Animal Sanctuary Society.
They're awesome. Yes.
All right. We're also from Kanab, Utah. We're their primary. So, what people understand the importance of 24/7 connected care. And we are having so much fun with it. And I feel I love helping people with their pets. So when I get to do these 3,600 calls that I've done, these virtual visits, and I get the kudos is unbelievable. I talked to one gal, and this is when we first started, and she was very, she didn't really get it. She could just tell. She thought it was a waste of her money to do it. And we talked a little bit, and I helped her out. She reached out to me on LinkedIn. She had to find me because I didn't give any of my information. And she reached out. I actually saved her little note to me, basically saying, this is, in essence, the best thing since sliced bread. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now she and I we talk each other all the time. It's great.
It's amazing.
I love my vet, and he has given me his phone number.
I was going to say, I now know two vets who have given out their personal phone number.
But I hesitate to use it, though, a lot.
Which is good.
So something like this, where that's what they're expecting is for you to
exactly.
Use it, that would make me feel better.
Sometimes people just call because they went to the vet. They have a great relationship with the vet, but they just want a little more information.
Yes.
A little more explanation. Vets are so busy right now. They don't have time. So we get a call, we explain, and they're so thankful. It's great.
I think one of my cats had a tortie girl, Latte, who we called her Nurse Latte because if anyone was sick, she laid on them and did not move. We kept like, are you going to eat? Have you used the box? She was just the best, but she got a tumor and it was a fast growing form of cancer. And they talked about euthanization right then. And I said, just give me time as long as I feel like she's happy. So I took her home and there began the horrendous struggle of, Are we there yet? Yes.
Right.
And by the time I knew she was there, because she was laying under the table, which is unlike her, and she was having breathing difficulties. Right. Now I'm trying to grab her, cram her in a crate, find a vet's office that's open. If I had something like this that I could have called and said, okay, Dr. Jeff, here's where we're at. You tell me, or what do I need to be looking at?
Also, this is the kind of cat, and I know Fear Free loves this too, home euthanasia.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 25 years, home euthanasia. And I got to tell you, it's the way to go.
I believe it because I lost, how many did I lose last year, Linda? 4?
Oh, you were, because we tend to take in the unadoptable ones that are sick or have FIV or whatever. Well, in my karma too, I adopted a cat from the Carolinas that was FIV positive because no one would take him. And then like 7 months later, I was going out for a business trip and they told me we still have his girlfriend. And I'm like, I don't break up bonded pairs. Put her in a crate. She's going back with me. She was truly feral. And so she's what we call semi-feral.
Try to get her to the vet. It's not happening.
No, I've said a million times, whatever happens to her, this is your life, girl. You're never leaving this out.
Well, I always say, give me the toughest, baddest, meanest dog on the block. over a nasty cat any day.
Yes, that's so true.
Agree.
Because nasty cats, boy, they're using all four limbs and their teeth, and they are fast. It's really tough.
I always tell people when the cat rolls over on his back and shows his stomach, it's not because he's being submissive. He's showing you all the claws that he's going to get you.
Let me just pull my arsenal out. Yeah.
Right.
And then watch that flexible spine that can turn around. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We were talking about some things that I want to talk about. And I have to tell you, I took pictures of it. I actually did a little video. Maybe I should send it to you.
Yes.
I saw a beautiful 8-month-old Abyssinian cat.
Love Emmys. Oh, I love them.
They adopted it with its brother. Okay. And when I saw it a month and a half ago at 5.5, 6 months, belly was huge, full of fluid, FIP.
Wow.
No.
FIP is awful.
And as what I would have said a year ago, even maybe 2 years ago, and everything before that, FIP is 100% fatal, especially the effusive form. It's going to get them. But I had read a little something about GS 441-524. And I said, oh, there is something new. And I told them to send them to a couple of websites they can look into. P.S. They got the injection 22 days into the 84 days. This cat is 100% normal.
Oh, I love that.
The most amazing thing on the planet. So it's not like, coming with a new chemo regimen that can extend maybe life another 6 months. We're talking a deadly disease and being able to cure it.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know Peter Cohen? He's a FIP warrior.
Yes.
He has Zen by Cat, and his nonprofit is to raise money to help people afford that FIP treatment because it's very expensive.
Right.
And do more research and get generics out there and all the things we need to do to get medications more.
And one of my professors from Davis, Dr. Niels Peterson, was one of the originators of this medication, of the studies. And I put a call into him because I want to talk to him. I've never seen anything like it. The turnaround of this is unreal.
Yeah, Peter had adopted some cats, and then one of them had FIP. And so he did that, just that. I'm going to search until I can find someone. And they said, well, this isn't even really regulated for cats. It really isn't what it's for. But if you want to give it a shot, he's like, yeah, I'll do anything. And I'm not sure. I think it was Cookie Monster, wasn't it? I'm not sure if it was the first or one of the first cats to be completely cured. And it's been a little while. And cats.
Peter could afford it. And so when he realized how expensive it is and most people can't afford it, that's when he started his nonprofit.
All right. This couple, they were committed. The cat was gorgeous. Is gorgeous. I could say that now. Gorgeous.
Yes.
And, it's a great Abbey. And anyway, it's so just people should know that there are alternatives. And like you said, there are some generic companies. Do your homework, though. Some are better than the other. And there are a couple of really good websites that I was given. In fact, what I'm going to do, if you give me a second.
Yeah, the more resources we have, the better.
Yeah, so one is called curefip.com. Okay. The other one is maxpawhealth.com. This is the one they ended up using. And they found that just because they were more attentive and it was easier to get a hold of them and they got the medication. There's also a Facebook group called FIP Warriors.
Yeah, that's Peter.
I think that's Peter's group.
Oh.
Yes, I think that's Peter's group.
It is.
Yes.
And it's great. So now this company is using this client of mine a lot because they're in the middle. But they say you want to do it for 84 days, this injection daily. And after 22 days, they're only a quarter through.
Wow.
That is amazing. Something that was 100% deadly.
Linda, didn't you lose a cat to FIP early on?
No, that was FIV, and it was a lot of years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, Dan's been gone over 19 years, so it was over 20 years ago.
Right.
We took in a stray, and we had him scheduled to get him neutered, and he got a little happy one night and broke out the screen and kind of, went to find him a little something, got beat up to heck. So we brought him into the vet, and they called me and said he was FIP positive and they needed to euthanize. And that was pretty much it. And I believed them. And
now the things have changed a little bit with FIP.
A lot.
We used to say FIP and FIV were both deadly. And there are cats walking around with FIV and doing just
Yes, I've had my Kismet for 5 or 6 years now.
Is it that long already?
Yeah. Surprisingly, yes. He's had to have a few teeth removed, but he was also living outside in a feral colony for many years. So I'm sure that didn't help. But he's an amazing cat. And I say people who are afraid of adopting a cat because of a condition like that, do your research, find things out because he really isn't any extra bother. I think I worry about him a little bit more, but other than that.
Do you guys, doing the cats as you do, how many people say, well, God, I don't like cats because they're just not like, they're not like dogs and stuff. And I say, if you don't like cats, you haven't had the right cat.
Yes.
Because if you come to my house and you sit down on my couch and 3 of my cats are on your lap, rubbing up against you, rolling over, I said, they're like dogs.
They're very affectionate.
When we first started talking about getting a cat, my husband, I hate cats. I guarantee you, if he's at his desk right now, there's a big black cat in his lap that has claimed him. It's just, it's so funny. I watch them, and Kismet, my FIV boy, sleeps on his hip all night. Last night, I put my arm around Kismet's head was here, and I thought, yeah, this is the man who hates cats.
This is the man who hates cats. Yes.
I told you I have one of my 5 cats. It's a big black cat too. And, when I do my radio show on Sunday mornings, I can't let him in the room because he loves to walk right on, and it's a computer show. It's on the internet. So he is walking on the keyboard. At one point, the worst thing he did, I start my morning with a cup of coffee. It's 9:00 in LA time. It's, in noon in the East live. It's a live show. And all of a sudden, my full cup of coffee, he walks in, he rubs up against the whole thing.
That.
My notes, my keyboard. Anyway, okay, Ninja. Yeah, Black Ninja.
That's how Dexter is.
You don't get to be in
not up here.
Yeah, it's just the same surprise. Dexter's not up there. Yeah, we were doing a behavior session, and Rita decided instead of going up to her office, she was just going to put her laptop in the kitchen, and we're talking, and all of a sudden, she just disappeared off this Zoom, and I'm like, well, Rita will be back. So anyway, cats in nature. He walked across it and put it to sleep.
Yeah,
put her computer to sleep.
Yeah, he did. He usually makes an appearance every time we're filming.
Yeah, he
something.
does.
I don't know where he is right now.
Are we at a point where we need to take a break?
Yes, we actually are. Right. We'll be right back after a word from our awesome sponsor.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back with 19 Cats and Counting with the lovely Linda Hall and the amazing Dr. Jeff, who has a live call-in radio show every Sunday on Pet Life Radio. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Again, I love talking pets, and I know the producers and a lot of my colleagues have shows. And we met at one of the Global Pet Expo, and we just hit it off. And they said, look, let's do a show. I can do a live call in. I guess we just had Dr. Jan Bellows, who's one of the premier veterinary dentists in the country. He was a guest, and I just like finding stories. People need to know more about pets and what we do, and kind of make it fun, make it enjoyable. In fact, I mentioned to you before our show started that I saw a story that knowing that I was going to be talking to you guys about cats, that I could relate to because I understand cats. I know you can, but this was a great story. It's about parents of children, right, with the autism that are on the autism spectrum disorder. They have autism. Listen to this. Their children became more sociable and empathetic and exhibited fewer concerning behaviors within 18 months of adopting a cat.
That's amazing.
Which is amazing. And what's even more amazing to me is listen to this, which I love it. It says, even the cats appear to thrive more. And, we talk about how the animals have senses. I mean, like dogs, for example. I have 5 of those too. And, they can read our expressions. They can sense our emotions. Well, cats are the same way. Well, there must be something about autism kids, right? Kids with autism that they sense as different. And the cats were more affectionate, and they too seem to thrive.
Wow,
so
that's great.
So amazing that cats read this And it's like, look, cats can detect COVID better than many tests can detect. Dogs can detect COVID. Why? Sure. Because their nose, we're happy. We have 5 million receptors right in our noses. Right?
Well, cats have 200 million or some crazy. 250 million. Yeah.
50 times what we have.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And when you talk about hearing, you know who wins the hearing test? Cats. Their range of the pitches is greater than anybody. They can sense low pitch, high pitch, intermediate. It's amazing. And that's why cats' ears are usually erect, except for 2 breeds, the Scottish Fold and the American Curl. But most of them have erect ears and they take it all in. It's amazing.
I know when my cats get, like they think they hear something or they're staring at the wall, I get nervous because I know that they know something's there and I can't.
Right.
My cats let me know when my husband's a block away when he's coming home from work. They start walking into the kitchen and it's like, oh, well, you'll be turning the corner in 10, 9, 8.
Yeah, right.
He's the food guy.
Vibrations. Yeah, he's supper dude.
In my house, I'm the food guy and the litter guy. But I'm very lucky with 5 cats. Normally, we talk about you should always have N+1 in litter box. 1 more than the number of cats in the household. Yes. I have, and so we built a whole area for the cats to do their business, and with a little doggy door, kitty door, and they go in. So the dogs can't eat the cat litter, which we know.
Yeah, that's a concern with dogs.
I know that's the Tootsie Rolls, and but we only have no accidents in the house. All indoor cats. 3 litter boxes for the 5 cats.
Amazing.
So we are very, very
That's
lucky.
wonderful.
I know.
We recently had a client that did that. They built out into their garage this like mini catio, I guess, with boxes in it and a doggy door so the cat could get out. And I thought, that's genius.
Yeah, but they only had 1 door. Yeah. So that was the problem. A cat would go in and then another cat could come in and bully the other cat. So we told them they needed to install a second so that there was 2 entry exit points.
Exactly. Do not block.
Ours is like an enclosure, which is behind 2 plexiglass glass doors. So we leave those open typically so the cat can either go the easy way, but we built a fan in the floor that sucks out the odors.
Nice.
So it goes under the house. We have one of the big litter boxes, and then we have a tray they jump on and they can eat right up there. So that way the dogs can't eat the cat food, the dogs can't eat the litter, and the cats have access to their own little enclosure.
That is really smart.
It worked out really, really well.
Well, I'll admit I do really not have 19 litter boxes. I have 15.
Yeah, it gets to the point of like, I just can't find room for 1 more litter.
Right.
Yeah. Hence the need to build the sanctuary because I can't fit any more litter boxes in here.
Do you think the reason cats and autism go so well together is because, my dog, I can see it written all over her face. I'm happy to see you, and her butt's away again. And I can yell across the room to her and go, Sadie, hear me, and she's all excited. Cats, you're watching for so much more subtle communication, right? Much like autism, which tends to be either nonverbal or verbally delayed. Are they just, they're used to looking at the cues and eye contact and watching body language. And
totally. And it's, it's interesting. I would love to know more about this particular study, but I think that it is, to me, it's fascinating because, and again, not surprising. I have one of my cousins, interestingly, 2 of my cousins became veterinarians. And one, the older one, who just actually retired, was Forest Hills Cat Hospital. He was one of the first vets in the country, going back to the late 60s, that opened up an all cat practice.
Oh, we love that.
And he did it, out of practicality because it was in the city, New York City, and you don't have a lot of space. The space is very expensive and it's very noisy to walk in. A lot of cats object, don't like being. So, like other doctors have 2 waiting rooms, a cat and a dog, but he's obviously just understood cats a lot better. So things like this to him aren't surprising, not at all.
We had a young man on the show, remember?
Caden. He called himself Caden the cat.
Yes, he loved his cat so much he called himself a cat.
He's on the spectrum. And so we talked to him about how his cat helps him. And he said, when people are mean and cruel, his cat's never mean to him, right? And it, gives him this unconditional love and acceptance and centers him again and makes him happy again. And I thought that was the best testimonial I could have heard, right?
And then, and dogs, similarly, when you talk about service animals, what a service dog brings, not just for the help, but for the emotion of the person who has the disability.
Oh, for sure.
And the stories about, nonstop about this, it helps them come out of their shell, helps them become more accepted. It's like this, if you're in an outdoor cafe, you're an eatery, right? Especially now with COVID, and you're walking down the street and just walking. How many of those people are sitting there, strangers, do you stop to talk to? The answer is
like
none.
zero, right?
Now, zero. Now, have a dog sitting next to that stranger, or you walking with your dog,
That's different.
and you
You're
would see
right.
a completely different environment. And everybody, oh my God, it's you. And you start talking. It brings animals have that knack of
They
just
do.
bringing
Yes.
people together socially.
I hadn't thought about that. I remember when I was bringing Karma home that back to Ohio from the Carolinas when I adopted her. Everybody, what do you got in there? Oh, can I see? Oh,
right.
she's so pretty. Like nobody ever spoke to me at an airport before,
Right.
like
Exactly.
ever. All of a
And as a
sudden,
veterinarian,
I've got a million best
I
friends.
always stop for the dogs. I go in, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. This is funny. I walked into a airport about to travel, and I saw the police dog. It was a Belgian Malinois with the cop, and they're, I'm sure it was a drug dog. So, I'm supposed to touch them. I didn't. And so I check in, and I'm walking now towards the gate, and now this cop and the dog are coming towards me. So I got my backpack and my carry-on. And all of a sudden, the dog, as we pass each other, the dog makes a U-turn and starts literally coming right up. I'm thinking, oh my God, what did I forget to put away?
What drugs do I have in my pockets right now?
So she jumps up on me and she's sniffing me. And the cop comes over and he goes, "You have dogs." I say, "Well, I have dogs and I'm a veterinarian." He goes, "She knows it." It was different posturing. When they come up with the smell, they're supposed to sit and you know what I mean?
Yes.
She was literally sniffing me and jumping up me. She was licking my face.
Aw.
Like I'm
it was
smelling a
so
pack of dogs
funny.
walking through here. I have
I
to
know.
investigate this situation.
It was hysterical. And it was so funny because people then started to stop and watch. What is this guy doing? The cop and the dog, and the dog is all over the guy.
They were waiting to see you get drug busted, Dr. Jeff. They were all excited thinking
They're
they
waiting for the
had the
handcuffs to
next
come out.
viral video.
No, but it's like the dog gives people an excuse to talk to someone they never would normally interact with.
Absolutely. Animals have that. It's an amazing.
Yes,
And we love it. Oh, so the Emmy. So you mentioned that. So what happened was I accidentally, and I mean this truly, accidentally got into TV, 35 years ago. I finished school in 84. By 85, 86, I was already doing TV. And it wasn't because I wanted to do TV. It wasn't like I graduated and said, I want to, Oh, by the way, my dad was an actor. That's what brought us to California. And I was the only one in the family that had no desire to do anything in entertainment. I wanted to be a vet ever since I was 5. And that's what I was doing. But I was so disenchanted with my profession, educating the masses about pet care issues that they should know about. Simple stuff. And when after the 4th guy comes to my office, ready to start vaccines in his 6-month-old dog, I'm thinking, oh my God, this was the heart of parvo, and you have never vaccinated. And whose fault is it? It wasn't his fault. It was our fault. Our profession wasn't educating people right. I went to the AVMA and I said, guys, I'm in California. I have clients that are like big time Hollywood producers and agents. I would love to maybe help you guys write some stuff, get a PSA out there. I can connect you. And I got this very condescending, I was a kid. I was 29 years, sure, Sonny, we got it covered. I said, oh, great. So I waited and waited and waited, said, screw you guys. You're not doing anything. So I started to write a video that I can maybe get into pet shops, because this was the heart of videos. It's back in the early mid 80s. So I do this video, turned into 8 or 9 videos, because the biggest sellers in the pet shops were not just a book on dogs. It was your golden retriever, your German shepherd, your Labrador, your poodle, your Lhasa, your Shih Tzu. So we took the 9 top selling pet shop dogs, and I did a video for each one. And that got me a guest spot on a syndicated talk show. And they wanted to talk about the videos. I said, look, I don't really want to talk about the videos. I really want to talk about education. So who was your guest host? The guest host was a comedian. His name was Dom DeLuise, who was an
I remember him.
I love Dom DeLuise.
He joked about his weight. And I said, oh, well, Dom DeLuise, look, the number one nutritional disease affecting pets is obesity. Let's do a segment on obesity. And we did a segment. We said, Dom DeLuise was a panic, right? And the producer comes to me after, he goes, that was great. Would you like to come back and do it again and do another one? And I said, yes. And literally that's how it started. From there, I went to the home show on ABC. I went to Mike and Natty on ABC. I had my own show on Animal Planet, my own show, Lassie's Pet Vet on PBS. And then I started working for KCBS in LA. And I was on the desk 3 days a week as a reporter, pet health reporter. And it turns out that in the Emmys, the regional Emmys, local Emmys, Los Angeles area Emmys, we won for the best morning newscast.
So that's how you got the Emmy.
That is
I was
amazing.
part of the news team. We all got our Emmys.
Nice.
That is amazing. I'll bet when you were going to veterinarian school, never did it occur to you that this would lead to an Emmy one day, right? Like,
or having the national shows. My show called Petcetera that was then it was an Ace Cable Awards. Now they combine the Ace with the Emmys. But back then it was its own. I was nominated for a Cable Ace Award for my show. I lost to Emerald won. Emerald Lagasse. We had Furnitures to Go. Walter Cronkite remembers Emerald. I was in pretty good company.
I would say so. I think that's something to be quite impressed with.
Just to go to the Ace Awards in my tuxedo, and that was fun.
Yes, that is amazing.
But see, you saw that the public really needed to know more about dogs and cats and what kind of care, and they still do need that.
Yes, and that's why I've been doing this kind of thing and staying in the media all this time. And I had a lot of naysayers initially because they thought that here I am, I'm going to be on TV Vet, and I'm going to take all their business. I said, first of all, guys, I never mentioned my hospital. All right, it's my name, and I'm national. I'm expecting people to come to me from South Carolina. How ridiculous!
Right.
That's great. Now, so it took a while to break through that. But my tagline always was, see your veterinarian. You need to talk to your veterinarian.
Yes.
So people would see me and then they would call their veterinarian. Now it's a lot different. Now they respect what I'm doing. Marty Becker, all the guys that are doing a lot of TV,
yes,
they get it. My friend Ernie Ward. A lot of people doing television now and a lot of veterinarians, and people are respecting them because they know that what we do is going to help them take care of their patients.
Well, exactly. That's what we said. We've had other behaviorists and people in our
we can't take care of everyone,
and we're like, we did the math one day. 134,400 cats are surrendered to U.S. shelters every year for behavior problems. Right. And it was the first ones to get euthanized if it's not no kill.
Of course.
And I'm like, we can't help 134,400 cats each year. So
but we can spread the word together and help other behaviorists. Educate.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And that's you say that, and that is so true. That when people talk about the vaccines and they don't want to do vaccines, we don't understand. I said socialization is key early on, between 8 and 18 weeks for a dog. All right. If you waited until you're finished with the vaccine series to get your dog together with another dog, then you have 2 weeks left. 16 weeks of last shot.
It's the same thing with kittens. If you don't get them by 12 weeks, forget it.
Right. You need to still like them. They need to socialize, because if they don't, then they end up in a shelter. And like you said, the behavior ones are the ones that usually get to put to sleep.
They do.
Yeah. I said, nobody comes into the shelter saying, I would like a cat that pees on the bed. You got one of those, right? Like, this is the cat. That's the cat Rita and I take home.
I look for those, but
yes, I know.
Most people don't.
I
have to show you a real quick picture. And I'll tell you the story behind this. So this was a cat that he's now gone, but he was just an amazing, amazing cat. And let's see. All right. So this cat, his name was Bachelor. I took care of him as a kitten. One day the client brings him in and says, I need to just get all the shots because I'm taking him to the shelter. I go, why? He says, because he's the worst cat I've ever seen. I said, he is stunning. He is gorgeous. I'll take him. He's no doc. You don't want him. He's not social. He pees everywhere. He doesn't cuddle. He's just the worst cat. I said, I don't care. He is so gorgeous that I'm going to take him.
He was unhappy in that environment.
Yeah. Oh, look at those markings.
He was a pure breed.
Just beautiful.
Mackerel
tabby.
I knew it was Bengal. I knew there was
Bengal.
Oh. Snowshoe marble. His other half is exactly a mirror image of this. All right.
Beautiful.
He was so stunning. And anyway, I took him home. And guess what?
He's a good cat. I knew
it. Oh my God. Never missed a litter box. Socialized with my other cats. Was such a love. So cats read us very well. And
yes.
The cat didn't like him. It's like
Well, he knew the guy wasn't committed, obviously.
He was so stunning. We have a friend who was dating a guy. And every time the guy would stay over, the cat would poop in his shoes. So we told our friend, something's wrong with this guy, because that cat knows.
Listen to your cat, honey.
Listen to your cat. Sure enough, he turned out to be a total jerk. And the cat was right from the get-go. So listen to your cat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think one of the problems that we see a lot of is dog people getting cats, thinking they'll act like cats and disciplining them in the way their parents used
Remember
to
that
discipline
couple
their
we had?
Yes,
where-
yeah. You know, we
Yeah.
had lady one time, she's sitting next to her husband and she's like, he hit him with the newspaper. He shouldn't do that, right? Right? Yeah, look, they said he shouldn't. I'm like, we're not ammunition. Stop using us.
Right.
Yeah, you can't like, it's even bad to do this to dogs, but you can't like rub the cat's nose and say, you did this,
Right,
you
right,
did this.
right,
They
right.
don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Well, even the
First
dogs
and
don't
sure.
know. You know,
I
what we
know.
end up doing when you reprimand a dog for going to the bathroom, you're not mad they went to the bathroom. That's a normal, natural behavior. You're mad that they chose your white carpeting. So but
Yes.
when you say no and you take them over, then you whack them or whatever, they think they can't go to the bathroom.
No
so
poop.
now you have
Yes,
them outside and you're with them for 4 hours. At home, you felt they couldn't hold it in for more than an hour. And here it is 4 hours. You're saying, go, come on already. The dog's looking up and you saying, are you nuts?
I'm so
Not gonna go in
confused.
front of
I don't
you.
want to get
That's
in
not
trouble
going for me to
again.
hit me.
Yes. I told a client an analogy once. She liked the water bottle. And I said, so let me ask you this. You work in an office, your boss comes by and says, everybody's been farting around too much today. Nobody leaves their desk till 5. Your stomach starts rumbling and you know this is a bathroom 911. You run to the bathroom, you come back, you've been written up. There's a slip, disciplinary slip on your. Do you think you did something wrong by pooping or do you think your boss is a big old jerk?
Right.
Because that's what your cat thinks when you squirt them with a water bottle. They are
Right.
not, they are not connecting this. They did something that makes sense to them for a reason that is known to
Right.
them.
Right.
And then you made them wet. Like, what was the point of that?
And then they just learn not to do it when you're around.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why we always look for remote correction, because if they always associate you with them, they'll be fine when you're there. But wait till you come home one day and your couch is torn apart. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
We had a client using a can of something that you spray and it makes a noise and then it sprays out something. And I said, even if that works, which they had a high anxiety cat, so I don't recommend scaring the heck out of your high anxiety
No.
cat.
Right.
But I said, even if that worked, it would only teach your cat not to do that when you're sitting
And the other
there with
one that was
can in your
shaking the
hand.
can of pennies or
Yeah,
something.
the penny
Oh, yeah, the penny
cans.
can.
Like, yeah. Or unless you're gonna stay home and watch that cat
Right.
and carry around your little can 24/7.
No,
You're
no,
not getting
that doesn't
anywhere.
work. That doesn't work. We've gone way over time, which
Uh-oh.
I
Here's
could
a
just
shot.
talk for another hour to you,
I could
Dr. Jeff.
too. Yes. You'll
You're
have to
are
come
you in the
back to
LA
me.
area? You're in the LA
Yes,
area.
I'm in LA.
right?
I'm
Yeah,
in LA.
I lived in LA for 10 years. I'm sorry we never crossed paths while I was there.
Where in LA were you?
I lived near the Beverly Center. Actually, my
Oh.
apartment was right behind Jones on 3rd.
Oh, sure.
And we
Yeah,
miss
so
LA.
I'm in West LA. I actually
okay.
live now 1 mile from the house I grew up in. So
That's
Nice.
kind of
Yeah.
cool.
and 2 of my kids live with their kids. I have 5 grandkids, live within 4 blocks of us, which is great.
that sounds
so-
like a perfect life.
Dexter.
Oh,
had a
there's-
So
picture.
there's Dexter.
That looks like my ninja, just like green eyes, black
You know
cat,
how that
big cat, great.
He chose me. He showed up on my doorstep.
Yeah, that's Ninja too. Ninja found us. It's so great.
She said when she lost another cat, and again, because we keep taking these elderly or
Right.
ill cats, and she said, I'm not taking it anymore unless they show up at my door.
And sure enough,
A week
And then,
later.
and then a week later, Dexter appeared on the deck, which is why his name is Dexter. So yes.
DECK.
one of my cats, it was little found in a dumpster. They came in and I'm holding the cat, and they wanted to put it into we had a big like a enclosure up front for adoption. And they said, "Oh, look, can we take him?" I put it out. I said, "No, this one cannot be adopted." They go, "Why not?" I go, "Because I'm taking him." And,
Because he's spoken for.
yes, yeah.
It's how you get to 11 and 18,
That's
but
right.
okay.
Sure.
Well, we're building the sanctuary
All
now
right.
so we can help more. But
Good.
make sure, everyone, that you check out the Dr. Jeff show on Pet Life Radio live Sunday mornings.
Ask the vet with Dr. Jeff. And also, for those of you who want access to a vet 24/7, go to your app store, go to Google Play, and download AirVet. You're going to love
AirVet.
it. It's fantastic.
Vet.com.
Yes.
And I will we'll put those links in the write-up that we do for the
Sure.
show. And your website is drjeff.com, correct?
I have drjeff.com. I'm at, you can reach me at drjeff@petliferadio.com, jeff@airvet.com. Yeah, I have a lot of emails.
You're very
Yeah,
accessible.
but
We understand.
I wish I'd known you when I lived there. My vet there was Dr. Raina, who I loved.
Oh,
He
sure.
was awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
you know Dr. Raina?
Of course. Yeah, I've been working here for,
Yes, you know them all.
Yes, I've been in LA and the LA vet market for over 40 years. So yes, I know them all.
You got it.
I hope you'll come on again.
Yes,
so
please.
we can do another show.
Anytime, just
with
let me
you.
know.
It's
We
been
will
so
do that.
enjoyable. I've
Thank
really
you. Thanks for
enjoyed
having me. This is a lot of
Yes.
fun.
We could have kept you for another hour easily, but yes, we're the
It's hard
same
to keep me
way.
away.
We understand that.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Linda, for being my awesome co-host.
My pleasure.
And Dr. Jeff for sharing so much awesome information.
Yes.
And of course, we have to thank Mark Winter for giving us the spot on Pet Life Radio. Be sure to visit catbehavioralliance.com. Read our blog. If you need some cat help, reach out to us. We're more than happy to hold a session for you. But most importantly, remember, every day's Catter Day. We'll see you next time.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.